today to protest, and I want to recognize those who have organized this activity. In vibrant democracies, protests are a very important part of that, along with dialogue and peaceful protests and discussion. I want to note that acts of racism are absolutely contrary to the ideals on which the United States was founded. And we know that the United States is not perfect, but we strive to be more perfect. It is so important that we have difficult conversations about this topic, and we, the United States, commit ourselves to standing up for injustice. We are a nation united on the concept of liberty and justice for all, and there is much to be done to bring about complete equality. But we look forward to both working together within the United States and also with our partners, those in the Gambia, and we look forward to continuing this dialogue and discussion, and thank you for engaging with us on this very important topic.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Can you please tell us your name?
Sure. My name is Shelley Seaver, and I'm the Deputy Chief of Mission at the U.S. Embassy in the Gambia.
Thank you very much.
Which began many centuries ago. The U.S. was based and built on the backs of black people, on the backs of slavery, on the backs of injustice. It's been centuries, and black people around the globe have had to deal with systemic racism. We're calling on the U.S. Embassy and the U.S. government as a whole to end racial injustice against black people, to end police brutality, which is systemic and endemic, as part of the U.S. history and as part of the U.S. culture. As black people in the Gambia here, we are naming it. We are naming it for what it is. We have a few demands, 7, which I will list. The first one is to release the police videos on the shooting of Modou Lamine Cissé, who was killed in Gwinnett County in Georgia. To conduct thorough investigation of all incidents of police brutality against blacks in the United States and ensure full justice and accountability. To conduct constitutional, legal, and institutional reforms to weed out and end cultural racism, and to actively criminalize racism in all forms. Page 3. To reform policing methods to orient law enforcement officers towards non-violent policing methods and educate them about human rights. To reform American education system to fully introduce African and African American history, to highlight the contribution of Africans to world civilization and the building of the United States of America. To provide reparations for African Americans with direct and huge investments in the provision of services, facilities, and opportunities for their social, economic, and cultural development. Uphold and practice democratic values and protect the human rights and dignities of all, Thank you.
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Well, we've just witnessed the handing over of petition from the protesters to the American embassy officials, of course. And Shelby, the Deputy Chief Mission in the Gambia, has received the petition on behalf of the movement and promised that the American officials will do what it takes to ensure that systematic racism comes to an end, because she said these are values that the American system or the American people do not uphold. These are values against the American system, of course, which we all know, she said. So we've just witnessed the handing over ceremony. Now it is left to the American government and American officials to start the real discussion, to start the real process of changing policies that will end systematic racism and institutional racism in America as a whole, so that every life will indeed matter, so that every lives, regardless of your race, will be given equal opportunity and will be treated as any other human being in the United States of America. Sankoli Janko, Block TV, Banjo.